Hey guys, John with HookahJohn.com here again. Today's a special day. I have a special guest, Angela with Alchemist Tobacco. You guys are familiar with her. She stopped by for a quick little meeting, and we had an issue that some of you guys have been seeing at Hookah Enthusiasts going on with Prometheus, and that's a brand. And then you have on Hookah Enthusiasts a well-respected member, Brandon. I won't use his whole name here, but there seems to be an issue with them. And I spoke to Brandon this morning, and there's just a lot of, if you guys have followed it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into it. What was great, without even me asking Basilios of HeadQuarters Hookah, he just showed up. He drove from Tucson, Arizona. So Basilios, thanks for coming in. Perfect timing. All right. So there was an issue. I didn't read all the details other than we've got a member in our community, a consumer, who's really ticked off, to say the least, because of excuse me, a custom Prometheus hookah that he ordered. Before we get into that, you guys are familiar with the Prometheus brand. They have Prometheus hookahs. It's actually the HeadQuarters brand. They have Prometheus hookahs. They have the Demi hookah, and more products coming out. And they have HeadQuarters Hookah Tobacco. In addition, Basilios runs HeadQuarters Hookah Lounge in Tucson, Arizona. So right now we're here for the issue at hand. Okay, there's been a lot of negativity thrown your way personally and your brand's way. It seems like Brandon ordered a custom $1,600 Prometheus, and I don't know what the exact details were. Maybe it didn't come out right. Can you shed a little light on that? Because I need to get your side of the story. Brandon's a cool guy. He's a consumer. He's one of those high-end consumers, meaning he bought a $1,600 hookah from you. He buys all the high-end hookahs.
Absolutely.
All right. Basilios, what do you have to say about this?
Well, for starters, that's correct. Brandon actually is in 100% his right to be upset. I would be. Any one of us would be in that position if you can afford a custom job like that, or if you spend $1 or $1,600. It's all the same to me. I mean, delivering the highest quality products, delivering the best service possible has always been the HeadQuarters Hookah goal, mindset, passion behind everything we do. I mean, that's why we became a U.S. manufacturer. That's why we became a U.S. brand, and that's why we only use the latest and greatest technology with the highest quality materials possible when manufacturing, and definitely not charging the Ferrari price for the Ferrari. In Brandon's case, it was definitely a issue on our end. He ordered a custom product that we don't normally do, based on the...
I know you and I spoke about this for the last hour, and I'll sum it up, because I know he's not much of a talker. He's definitely got a brain on him to come up with this type of hookah and his brand. He makes Prometheus hookahs in a certain way. All right, they come out through the machine. You know, their process, their manufacturing. And now when you do a custom one, there's a custom paint job that had to be, you have to get permission to get the paint, to use the paint. It was Brandon's favorite football team, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a certain orange. What's the name of the orange?
It's the Bengals team color.
The Bengals team color. And you can't even get that. It's really hard to get that, believe it or not, because they trademarked that color.
Yeah, it's their specific color, their team color. It's not something that you can get stock at anywhere. For anode, for paint, it had to be made.
Okay, so he went through that. He went through the effort of making this, although you don't make custom hookahs. Why did you do that? I mean, just because he asked for it? I mean, can I get a custom one?
I mean, there's a limitation to customizing that we can do. And I can't go too in-depth to why. It means that there's a lot of changes that have to happen, which a small change to a machine or a small change to production skyrockets the price.
And without going into too much, and sorry to cut you off because we got to make it kind of short to the point. There is a lot involved in making these hookahs, and I supported you from the beginning when you came down and showed us a Prometheus and how well it was made, and the materials that you use, and the price point is pretty right, because making products in the U.S. is very difficult to keep at the price of what you think a hookah should be, especially of that caliber. So I know they're not the most expensive hookahs out there. They are, but making them in the U.S. is just really difficult. I mean, we can compare it to other hookahs that are not made in the U.S. It just doesn't compare. Getting more to the point, the whole hookah enthusiast, not the whole hookah enthusiast community, but a lot of people jumped all over you because of Brandon, and they had the right to, I believe, because something was wrong with what happened. So we're not here defending the brand, but what we're trying to do is, what are you going to do about this? Because a lot of people are saying, okay, now I want to boycott Hookah John or 5 Star for carrying Prometheus products. And then these smaller vendors out there said, yeah, you know what, I've cut off all ties with them too. It's like, it's easy for the smaller guys who don't really carry your product. And I don't want to crap on them, but you know, they're starting out, but they don't carry the inventory that I do. Like, I've got, I don't know, a half a dozen hookahs right now, but we've got like 25 on order, right? Something like that. What am I supposed to do with all that? Just throw it away because all of a sudden the community wants to boycott it? You guys want me to take the blame for his mistakes? I don't know what you guys want exactly. What I want to do here is make peace in the community, specifically Hookah EXPO Worldwide. That's for all of us to get together and talk to each other, so you can meet people like Basilios behind the brand. Sorry for the plug, but not really. I had to get that in there. But the point is, what are we going to do now? What can we do to remedy the situation?
All right. First, backtracking half a step. I think it's extremely important that everybody, that stood behind Brandon throughout the entire process. I mean, good for you. That's fantastic community, and I think you guys sometimes forget that not too long ago I was a member of the community just the same way, and not much has changed. Besides, someone discovered my products and thought they'd be great to put on the market. But no, Brandon's in his right, and his hookah actually shipped today. The miscommunication was on my end. One of HeadQuarters' weakest skills. My weakest skill right now is customer service. The HQ team, the lounge, the shop, it stayed the same size as it was when it was just a hookah lounge. So we're a very small team. We're literally a mom and pop shop. I mean, I don't know what everybody imagines that we are, but we're a little shop you can walk into and meet any one of us. We're just putting out a phenomenal product. In Brandon's case, it's going out. Like I said, it's out today.
And today is the 21st of February, so it's gone out today. He goes through, with his situation, I think USPS, right? He's overseas.
Yeah.
He goes through an APO, I think, and so you should get it within 6 days or so, 6 to 10 days, I'd say.
Yeah, around there.
So you already sent it out. That's a good thing. What I'm gonna need from you, and what I'm so happy that you came here and did this, because you want to remedy the situation. And I want you to, because I need my brands that I carry to stand behind their product, which I've never said a bad word about you. I've been watching this, trying to avoid it, hoping it's gonna fix itself, but here we are. So we're fixing the problem now, and I'm glad you are. I hope Brandon gets a good product, and
Do you mind if I cut you off?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is directed to everybody in the community. This isn't just enthusiasts. This isn't just the people online. This is for all of us that partake in this hobby, this life choice, this style. I mean, this is something that unifies all of us. Hookah's come a very, very long way in a very short period of time. I'm apologizing, my deepest apologies, not just to Brandon, but to each and every one of you. Because this letdown to Brandon was a letdown to everyone. And I have the same mentality and standpoint as Brandon does. Vendors, not the vendors, but the manufacturers should be held responsible and should stand behind their brand. And I definitely do. I know sometimes it's hard to see because of such a small team, and I have solutions to that, and I'll cover that later. But I do stand behind the product, and most importantly, I stand behind you. I still view myself as one of you. I still buy other products. I'm still a huge fan of other brands. I love to see what everybody brings to the table, and hopefully we can all work through this. And you'll see big changes here soon. I mean, just because things don't happen overnight, don't think that HQ is not listening. I've listened to each and every single one of your concerns. It's upsetting when I can't handle them right away the way I want to be able to handle the situation. But there have been measures put into effect to make this a great year, a way for all of us to be able to communicate, a way for us to have the fastest turnaround time, the way for you guys to be able to speak to me and the team directly and get problems resolved. I mean, this is a huge problem. But at the same time, through communication, our product's phenomenal. Over 2,000 people can say that.
I agree.
And I think the only thing that's really been missing in this whole equation for us to grow together, because like I said, mom and pop shop, still growing, still making changes with each and every time I run a hookah to improve it, to make it better, because I hear what you guys have to say. I listen. I might not always respond on the forums, but I do listen, I do observe, and I do put into effect. And that's something to be said. I do listen. This brand was created by each and every one of you. Every positive comment, every negative comment has gone into play on the very next Prometheus that's made. And it still is today. And I don't want that to change. I take pride in the brand being made by you guys, and I'd like for it to grow at your guys' side. That being said, this problem, this is a mistake on my behalf. One that I've been trying to remedy. I went a little over my head and I've been stretched a little bit thin because I've taken on more than I can handle. And I'm coming out right and telling you guys that I am at fault here, and this is 100% blame on me. But at the same time, as a community, I don't think it's fair for us to blame the vendors for someone else's mistake. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. That was very big of you to do that publicly, apologizing. I know in the past videos we've had, he's not the most talkative person. That's fine. He is a great thinker. You guys have seen me as supporting him over the, when did he come out? Oh, close to 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
Okay, and I carried his product from day one. So I know him personally. I don't carry every product on the market. I only deal with people that I trust and like. It has a lot to do with their personalities, but more their business practices. So Basilios is not a bad guy. Let's see what happens over the next week, and hopefully this is resolved. And Brandon, this is for you, and it's for me, it's for Basilios, it's for the entire community. So hopefully this get resolved. I haven't never seen an issue get this big before, but maybe it's time, and that's Brandon's point, is to hold us accountable.
Absolutely.
And by the way, these things don't happen every day, so we are making a big deal out of it, but we rarely get complaints. I don't think on Prometheus I've had any, maybe one, and I think you replaced it. That was it. Things happen, we get them resolved. So that's what we're going to work on. So Basilios, thanks again. It's very big of you. I respect you for doing that, for getting on camera and doing that with me here in my office. And let's see how it goes. All right.
Can I say one last thing, something strange?
Okay.
Through this whole experience, I did something that, as a prideful person, I thought I'd never do. I had the opportunity to speak to Brandon a little before getting on this, and that conversation's going to stay private between the two of us. But I did something that I thought that somebody like myself couldn't do, because I do have a lot of pride. And I'm going to do it on camera again. Not just to Brandon, but Brandon, you're the one that started this, and to the rest of you, thank you for being able to confront me. And that's something to say, that being able to thank someone that criticizes your work or calls out your flaws, you know, sometimes it takes something like this to make us aware and more proactive, so things like this don't repeat in the future. So, smoke on, guys. Thank you for all your support over the last 2 years, and to many more to come on a much better note and a much better track. You guys will see a lot of big things from HQ this year, and that's not from products, that's from how myself, the team, the brand will be able to reach out, communicate, and work with you guys, and be on your good side and be one of your favorites once again.
All right, awesome. Thanks again, Basilios, and thanks guys for watching. We'll see you.